The Garden Theatre, or Garden Theatre, is a 1,000-seat theater that was built in 1915 at 12 West North Avenue in the Central Northside neighborhood of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, USA. Formerly a movie theater, it closed in 2007 and has not been in use much since the time, except for a scene in the movie adaptation of One for the Money starring Katherine Heigl, filmed in July 2010. The city of Pittsburgh hopes to revitalize the theater, and it was placed on the list of City of Pittsburgh historic designations by Pittsburgh City Council on March 25, 2008. History. Built in 1915 and designed by architect Thomas H. Scott and financed by David E. Park, a steel industry scion and banker, the Garden Theatre exhibits in Beaux Arts style. According to a 14-page historical American building survey data sheet from 1978, motion picture theaters became more substantial and dignified than the earlier Nickelodeons. The Garden Theatre is a typical little-changed neighborhood movie house of the century's second decade. Bennett Amdersky managed the theater from the time it opened, purchased it from Park's son in 1924, and ran it until his death in 1970. The theater became the pride of his life, the historical survey states. He worked at the theater daily until his death in the spring of 1970, over a half-century later. After he died, things changed. In 1973, the pornographic film Deep Throat played there and did quite well, and soon after the Garden became known as an adult movie theater. It was a porno theater for 34 years thereafter, until it closed in 2007. Now the city of Pittsburgh is trying to revitalize this historic area, and there are plans to restore this classic theater. The Garden Theatre is on the list of City of Pittsburgh historic designations. Film depictions. The 1979 sports cult classic The Fish that saved Pittsburgh used the Garden Theatre and its surrounding neighborhood as the home of the film's astrologist heroine Mona Stockard Channing, to depict a gritty inner-city gypsy fortune-teller's residence. The 1995 TV adaptation of August Wilson's The Piano Lesson used the Garden Theatre in a scene where Boy Willie and Lyman attend a movie in Pittsburgh. The 2010 film One for the Money starring Katherine Heigl uses the same exact buildings complete with Garden Theatre marquee to once again depict a gritty inner-city former burlesque district. This time, the theater and area around it are used to recreate a seedy Trenton, New Jersey, inner-city neighborhood. Redevelopment. In 2007, the Urban Redevelopment Authority of Pittsburgh purchased the building for $1.1 million. The theater, along with several other buildings including the former Masonic Hall located in the same block along North Avenue, were later sold to a Philadelphia-based development company in construction on a mixed-use project that will contain restaurants, shops, and housing began in 2012. References.